Welcome to the Word for 2021. Today we finish up the book of Genesis. We're in chapter 50. Jacob has died and he's been buried in Canaan. Joseph and all the brothers have mourned their father. As we continue reading here in chapter 50, we see two ways to live. The brothers lived by self-preservation and self-reliance, but Joseph, he lived with the idea of divine providence always about him. He believed that God was in charge and that God was working out all things. The brothers, they only saw what they could see on a horizontal level. Joseph saw things from a vertical level or a vertical perspective, from God's perspective, that he was overriding all of the events of his life to bring about a desired result. God was in charge. Joseph even says in verse 20, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." I love the story of Thomas Edison. On December 9, 1914, his factory burned down to the ground. His son saw him watching as the fire was burning away. The glow of the fire illuminated his face and the wind was blowing his hair. His son, who was 24, Charles, went up to his dad, Thomas Edison, not knowing how he was going to comfort his father. But his father turned and said, "Where is your mother?" And he said, "I'm not sure." "Well, go get her," Thomas Edison said. "She will never see a fire like this again." How could Thomas have that kind of attitude? What was he thinking? Well, later it says that he looked at this disaster as being of great value. All of his mistakes have burned up. And he then said, "Thank God we can now start anew." He knew that God was in charge too. And he knew that God could bring glory from ashes. And that's what Joseph knew as well. He knew that number one, God was in charge. Number two, that God uses bad to bring about good. That God can take something horrible and turn it into a blessing. And then the third is that God, using people, will bless other people. God was going to use Joseph not only to bless his family, but everyone. And that's exactly what God did through Jesus. God used Jesus to be a blessing to me and to you and to everyone. If we will simply put our trust and hope in Jesus, our sins can be forgiven. If we put our hope and trust in Jesus, our lives can be changed. We can become brand new. We can have a brand new heart within us. We can have a brand new spirit within us. Jesus' spirit can fill us and we can become brand new, where the old is gone and the new has come, all because of Jesus. In this chapter, Joseph made it very clear and plain once again to his brothers that even though they were fearful and they even fabricated a lie, they were still forgiven because of Joseph's heart. God does not desire judgment, but he longs to bring forgiveness, mercy, and grace. What we need to do is accept what God has done for us through Jesus. Instead of always living in guilt, we can live in grace and we can become brand new in him. Thank you for joining the Word for 2021.